welcome to today's 1Mby1M Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. This is 202nd session, I believe. Actually, session. So we just did the 200th and are continuing business as usual for 2014. Pretty much every week going forward, you will have roundtables. And today we're going to be working with 3 presenters. And what we do is first go through the ones who have submitted slides. If this is your first time, let me just run you through a few little details. If you are leading the show, please use hashtag 1M1M, and our Twitter handles are at 1Mby1M and at Romana. Some of the roundtables will be available on our YouTube channel, and that channel is 1M1M Roundtables. We pre-announce today a book that's coming out on Monday. It's called Bootstrapping Using Services, and it's available on Amazon Kindle, which is happening on Monday, and you will be able to download the book for free for days next week. So Monday through Friday next week, you will be able to go to Kindle and download the book for free. The promotion going on. All right. So after we're done with these 3 formal presentations, we put this teleconference call instructions up. Anybody in the room can call in. So 650-479-3208 is the call-in number. 666-925-870 is the passcode. And then if you're planning to call in, let us know in public chat that you are calling in. By the way, to use the chat as public chat, you need to set it to send to all participants. Please do not send me private messages during the sessions, because as you will see, I'll be working very closely with the presenters. So it's very difficult for me to work closely with the presenters and monitor your private messages. So please do not send me private chat messages. However, the public chat is fabulous because you can introduce yourselves, tell me where you're joining from, what kind of project you're working on, and what brings you to 1M1M. And it's a great networking platform, as well as it's a great platform through which you can actually engage with the presenters. You can comment on their presentations, ask questions, and so on and so forth. So use the public chat actively while you're participating in the session. And most of you are quite familiar with WebEx, and this is just a web model conversation. For those of you who are here for the first time, I know there are a lot of people who are for the first time. I will be spending time later on in the presentation explaining to you more about what we do in 1Mby1M. We are here. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue, and that could be entrepreneurs or intrapreneurs. We see a lot of intrapreneurship happening these days inside of companies as well. So that is fine. And we'll talk to you more about how we deliver 1M1M program and how you can use the 1M1M program later in the session. We are going to start, I believe, not with Tuan, who is in Vietnam and is still trying to figure out how to join the call, it seems. We are going to start with Telson Richardson. Telson, if you could unmute your line and tell us what direct dialect is. Is joining from Miami, Florida. Go ahead, Telson.
Hi, Marie.
Yes.
Hi. So direct dialect is pretty much 21st century language learning.
Speak a bit. Your line is coming low.
You mean now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So direct dialect is 21st century language learning. Go to the next slide. I can explain a little bit more about me. So I have an associates in accounting. I'm the CEO and founder of Direct Dialect. Next slide, please. So it's just a little bio on the language learning market. It's a $115 billion global market for language learning. The English language learning market, people who want to learn English, is $63 billion. Second language learners, people who want a second language, is 52 billion. Our target demographic for direct dialect is teens and young adults from 13 to 24 of all income brackets, and adults 25 to 65 of all income brackets. And even though I haven't discussed the program, the customer acquisition cost of like a small viral campaign would be $1,500. That would yield us estimate 150 customers, which means $10 per customer. And now I'm going to go into the actual program and what direct dialect is. Next slide, please. So language learning is that the language learning software available today just doesn't cut it for learning how to speak a language fluently. Today's programs are far too expensive and end up teaching a few words or phrases, but not how to actually speak a language and develop a larger vocabulary of words in that language you're trying to learn. Next slide, please. Solution: direct dialect. Direct is a 21st century language learning solution that gauges your individual learning style and gives you a custom language learning experience based off your results. Direct gives you the essential cognates, words, verbs, phrases, and sentences in order you to truly speak a language with useful tools to help you retain content as you learn. Next slide, please. So, like product, this is called the dashboard, and from the dashboard you can see all the features of direct dialect. The first panel on the right, it's called cognitive connection, and cognates are the words that are the same in your language as they are in a language you're trying to learn. Like an example, words that end in AL in Spanish also end in A in English. These are like the essential words you need to know that always are the same, like who, what, where, when, and why. Past, present, future teaches you the verbs and how to conjugate the verbs in whatever tense that's needed. Like in Spanish, you need to conjugate it in the reflexive or conjugate it in the present tense, depending on what conversation and the context of the conversation. Idiomatic phrases that wouldn't make any sense if you don't know the context behind them. Like it's almost like saying "what's up" in English, and you literally don't mean "what's up in the air." You just mean "how are you doing?" And sentences are the addition of the cognates, words, verbs, phrases together in the fluent sentences. For example, actives that end in OUS in English usually end in OSO in Spanish. And this would be the first of cognitive connection. Next slide, please. Example of like a direct dialect slide. Here's an example of the word. In the white text, you see the word, and one thing that's unique to direct dialect is redlining. Redlining uses the power of the color red in order to remember more vividly. I'll explain that in another slide. One thing I do want to go over is root pronunciation, which is when you see the word bottom, where it says curioso. Root pronunciation takes into account your root language, the language you know, and then pronounces the word in the target language. So if you perfectly pronounce that in English, you'd be pronouncing it in Spanish. If you perfectly pronounce curioso, that's exactly how you pronounce the word in Spanish. Next slide, please. 2.0 is what gauges your actual learning style. And once we gauge the user's learning style, we then give them custom language learning content based off their learning style. So if auditory, visual, persuasive, or active learner, we give them exactly what content they need to learn with. And if they don't like the learning style, they can always venture off into other learning styles. Learn with listening and music. Visuals learn more by like imagining more vivid context, like with vivid images or even vivid videos. Persuaders learn with like moving content, like novellas or maybe like stand-up comedy or like comedy shows. And active learners learn with actual activities that they do with the content. Next slide, please. Now, example of redlining. So the way it works is you would read the word first in either black text on white background, but in this case it's a black background on white text. So you read the word first. Next slide, please. What you do is you make the first and the last letters red of the word, and you read the word a second time. Next slide, if you're not done reading the word. And then we make the word fully red one last time. What I'm trying to accomplish with redlining is because red's the most vivid color, it's associated with love as well as blood. It creates a mental point of reference to whatever it have. So it's like if you were to close your eyes and you were to see the word and then close your eyes, you'd almost like see it better if it was red, if it was anything else, because that's just the way the human mind works. But we have other solution if you're like colorblind. We ask to use like what color do you see? Like this is kind of it's kind of weird, but we ask them what color do you see if you bleed, and that would be associated with like the color of blood for them if they're colorblind. Um, for most youths, red binding works for them because most people can see red. The population, we also have a solution for them. Next slide, please. Now, what I was telling you before, it takes into account your root language and pronounces it in your target language. So, if I was an English speaker and I saw the word comida, I comida, and when it really, oh sorry, 1 second. I'm getting off a cold, so I'm like trying my hardest not to cough. Pronunciation. If you were an English speaker, you may say the word coda when in reality. Next slide, please. To pronounce it comida. So renunciation, it's a special algorithm that I created that it pronounces perfectly the vowels as well as the special characters of any language. And Learning Style 2.0, red binding, and renunciation are three like proprietary properties of direct dialect that if we had any competition, it'd be impossible for them to duplicate anything like that. And pronunciation, we actually have it automated. So we have a version like just for like demonstration purposes that we use pronunciation, but it's manual. But probably we have it automated so that you put it in, you read it, and it shows you the word renunciated. Next slide, please. Will retail for $49.95, and our goal is to make direct dialect 10 times better and 10 times cheaper than Rosetta Stone. Making 10 times better was really easy because Rosetta Stone isn't that like good of a program. It seems like most people are just drawn to it by name, but in reality, Rosetta Stone is really just like images of type of words, whereas dialect is actually a learning experience. Like each beautiful user interface, it's almost like you're engaging with the actual language learning and you're in Spain learning. I built out direct dialect on my own, so I literally bootstrapped the whole thing from conception to actual prototype, and it's even better than a prototype because I made the desktop and I made the actual mobile apps, and it's fully built out. Next slide, please. And we're just trying to raise money for it. I think one of our competition earlier, that's Rosetta Stone, computer-based language learning company in the world, and 30 languages available. And another competitor who's not really a competitor because they're kind of free, and it's kind of like a game, is Duolingo. I see Duolingo more as a partner than a competitor because they use gamify learning where we're actually teaching you. They're using games.
But they're using games to teach. What's the problem with that? If that's a good system, I haven't used Duolingo. I have no idea of these. The one I've used is Pimsleur, which is very good actually.
Yeah, Pimsleur is almost like 1/4 of what we're doing. Like they focus more on auditory than the other three. But Pimsleur is probably the best out of them, believe it or not, because they're one of the oldest language learning systems like on this page. Thing about Duolingo is like I see them more as a partner than a competitor because I really like the way that they gamify learning, and that could almost be like we can use them like, hey, if you want to do more language learning practice, you can go on Duolingo, and we can probably partner up with them. Open English is one that's in Miami, and they're the Latin American online English learning company, and they're doing pretty good with their headway. But their program it's a lot of features that direct dialect has. Actually, all of them do. Next slide, please. Customer acquisition. One question that usually gets asked is how do you cost effectively get customers? And since I'm an accounting finance major, I put in account all the CPMs and exactly how much it would cost for an advertising campaign. And I've estimated to be between 150 to 250 per actual transaction. So if someone buys the software for $50, we'd probably be spending $2.50 on actual advertising. Um, a campaign via YouTube. One of our ideas was to like use Rosetta Stone's price and program, like kind of like a Microsoft Scroogle campaign. And since our videos have a lower cost per click and a cost per 1,000 in ads, that would be probably the best option. And then an option I had was an app, like a free app called Write Your Name in Arabic or Write Your Name in Hebrew, Write Your Name in Chinese, Write Your Name in Japanese, and really give them a picture of their language. And we probably just like let them post it on Facebook and really put like our website on the bottom of the picture, and then that person can show their name in Arabic and Hebrew. That would be a really good viral campaign that would probably cost next to nothing because all the person will literally be sharing it for free. Advertising. So pretty much the typical direct ads from Facebook, usually ads does that. And a Facebook fan page scraper, beyond the legality of that, but worst case scenario, direct advertising does the same thing. Facebook to do ads for people who like Rosetta Stone. It'll give me people who like Rosetta Stone that I can advertise to all their likes on their page. So I think the scraper, if it's not allowed by Facebook, I wouldn't really want to do it, but it's still an option.
I'll ask you some questions.
Okay, no problem.
Stone has 30 languages available. Duolingo has 6 languages available. What language are you focusing on?
So pretty much, we're trying to do it different than they do it. We're trying to literally converge on every language. So around 27 languages that are like ideal for people to learn, and with those 27 languages, I wanted to converge on every language. So Thai and you want to learn Dutch, or you're Spanish and you want to learn English. So that means there's probably 702 language combinations that you can choose from.
And products ready already?
I have the website built out. I have the mobile app built out. I have the actual program structure built out. Literally, all we need to do is translate the content and then get fluid language speakers to like, this is...
Translate the content in 700 languages. That is your business plan.
Yeah, that's what we want to do.
Terrible business plan. Absolutely outrageous business plan.
How so?
People cannot bring a product to market and focus and start with one step at a time. So you better pick what language you want to go to market with. Why do you think Rosetta Stone has a company that size has only 30 languages in the market? Or Pimper, as long as they've been in the market, they have only 29 languages. Why do you think so?
Because their methodology, but really what I was trying to say was we converge like eventually to 702, but we just like start with 702. First, we want to go with the figs with English, and then start Spanish, then Portuguese, like slowly converge on the 702.
Do English. It's going to take you 10 years to do English.
So, because our program content altogether, there's about 1,200 actions that you have to go through.
Building a company is not about converting a bunch of content into different languages. That is not building a company.
But this is language learning. So, in terms of the actual words that the person has to learn, like who, what, where, when, why, once they're translated and those words are like in the language, like.
To me, you understanding what I'm saying? Content to be able to teach those languages is not to help you build a company. You can't build a company like that. Each language is a product. Each language learning system is a product. You have to bring that product to market, acquire customers for it, get them to pay for that product, and build a business around each product.
Yes, I understand. That's what the main reason we needed the money for was to actually get the once we have content. It's I think on slide 8 or 9. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it kind of crumpled up. What we have fully built out direct dialect desktop, the built out apps for iPhone, Android, Windows Phone, and BlackBerry, the URL, and the Facebook and Twitters. Content revision. Pretty much the way it works, like the cognates, words, verbs, phrases, and sentences, it won't won't take years to get done because we want all the content known. Like kind of like the words in English, who, what, where, when, why. If you ask someone in Spanish, they'd be like donde, cuando, por qué, and the words they're the same words no matter where you go. So once the words are translated, we just need to have like a specific person. Like this is our Spanish director. Our Spanish director says, "Hey, are these words okay? Yeah, these words are good. Let me have these Spanish speakers check these words. Yeah, this is how you say this in Spanish." That way we know our content's good. And images and cloud hosting and storage are like pretty much the other two things we need. But after that, we would fully have a product ready for launch, and we'd be able to acquire customers, even if we only launched in.
You have a product for launch for what? For Spanish?
No, I built the Spanish version out, but the images that I used on the Spanish version, I used the Creative Commons images, and I can't really use most of the Creative Commons images because like they're not really high-res images, and I wanted like since it's a professional product that people are going to be buying, I wanted them to be able to like have a full, vivid learning experience. So available to anyone who's like watching this. There's a demo direct dialect for the desktop and an HTML5 mobile demo, which is how the app's gonna look like. And also with 15% share equity for 50,000. With that, we would literally be able to get not 10 languages, 20 languages done.
There's a lot of issues here. First and foremost, my build this company in this spray and pray mode. I would pick one language, build the one language properly, get enough traction, have a full go-to-market strategy around one language, and build one language at a time. This sort of trying to do 6 languages at a time is just not going to fly. That's one. Number 2, this stage of company where professional investors invest. Not any validation, get a business. So this is where mostly what we at the market right now is if you need to raise money, you need to raise money from friends and family. And 15% equity for $50,000 is a terrible deal.
I mean, direct is like the Learning Style 2.0, redlining, and renunciation. Those 3 aspects, even if like renunciation was to like, if Google one day wanted to use renunciation, they'd be able to make any sort of renunciation program because to actually pronounce those words, you would have to use renunciation. And
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh. I don't think you're listening to me. I don't think you're understanding what I'm telling you. We work with a ton of companies, and we have a very clear methodology of how to bring products to market. Do not ever advise any entrepreneur to try to bring products to market or 30 products to market at a time. It's not going to work. I know you're going to fail. That's not. Number 2 is, as financing is concerned, and this is for everybody, everybody who is in the room, you are thinking about financing a concept. The only way you can finance a concept is using your own savings or friends and family money. Professors do not fund concepts at this point. The only people who can get concept financing, these are serial entrepreneurs who have a record of making money for investors. Those are the kind of people who would be able to attract concept financing. Other than that, you are either on your own, bootstrapping, funding with your savings, funding with customer money, funding with friends and family money. Those are your options. Please don't expect that you would be able to raise financing right out of the gate. You haven't anything yet. This is pretty much a concept stage thing. To tell that you have already built a product, it's not convincing that you've built a product. So I'm not selling that product. If you've built a product, go sell the product and get and figure out how you acquire customers, how you sell product, and what target audience, what is your go-to-market strategy and all that, and get going with and turn this into a business so that when you go out to actually look for money, people are looking at financing a business, not a concept. That's my feedback. The third feedback is 15% of equity for $50,000 for you is a lousy deal. You should not raise any equity financing under $2 million pre-money valuation. If you get to $2 million pre-money valuation and raise maybe $500,000 in seed, that is a reasonable equity financing round. $2,000 for 15% of equity is going to be pretty impossible for you to finance going forward when you actually need real money. The kind of business you're talking about doing is going to cost a lot of money to build. Because competition out there have Rosetta Stone that tremendous amounts of money in television advertising and advertising and so on and so forth. This is a company that has very serious financial muscle. You are going to compete with Rosetta Stone. That's not a small money affair. So if you put yourself to that extent in your pre-seed round, you will not be able to raise that kind of money with any ownership left in the company. So, sorry?
I understand. I have a question when you're done, but you can keep talking. Okay. The question I was thinking of was what if to use crowdsource images, like if I were to start with English and Spanish, and then I were to use crowdsourcing, and if you were to add these images, you'd get like a free something or like some sort of crowdsourcing. And I were to probably start off with English to Spanish and Spanish to English. And do you think it would be a better strategy?
You should pick one product. English to Spanish is a different product. Spanish to English is a different product. You pick one product and build your go-to-market strategy around just one product, not multiple products.
Okay.
The other thing that you should do is crowdsourcing images. I don't know. You have to test and see if it works or not. What you need to get around you is a group of customers with whom you can validate whichever product you want to build. You need to get a bunch of potential customers around so that you can work with them and see, how to what you can do with them. Don't build products in a vacuum.
Okay. Yeah.
Assume that you're going to be raising money in this situation at this stage. You either have to self-or, scrap or find some friends and family money. Do not even think of going out to raise money at this point. Focus on product, figure out the go-to-market strategy around that product, and try to convert this concept into a business with customers as soon as possible. Those would be my guidance on trying to zero you in on something, putting one step before the other, rather than this, motherhood and apple pie of 700 products and you're going to be the ocean. That's not how you build companies.
All right. Thank you for your feedback.
Okay. It looks like the people who have submitted their slides cannot figure out how to call in. It's very odd that you guys are going to build these magnificent technology companies and you can't figure out how to make a WebEx call. That's kind of amusing, isn't it? Take calls from the audience. We have a lot of people in the room who have to call in and discuss your idea, your concept, your business strategy, any questions that you have on what you're working on. Instructions are on your screen. Please tell us in public chat that you are calling in. Put your computer on mute and then call 650-479-3208, access code 666-925-870. Keep the phone muted until I ask for you, but do let us know in public chat that you are calling in. I'm going to get your thoughts together and let us know in public chat. Meanwhile, I'm going to proceed and explain to you how to use 1M1M, and then we'll come back and take the calls, okay? 1 million by 1 million. For those, especially those of you who are coming for the first time, I know keep the line on mute. If you're trying to interrupt me, please put your line on mute. 1 million is the only global virtual incubator program in the world, and our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual in annual revenue, build $1 trillion in global GDP, and 10 million jobs. In terms of resources, we are completely for free and chock full of information. You have great case studies of how entrepreneurs have been building companies, putting one foot before the other, and these kinds of discussions, the discussion we just had, right, about Pelsim's company on how to put one foot before the other. This is what helps you build the company, and learning how entrepreneurs who have built something out of nothing, built serious revenue companies out of absolutely nothing, and how to put one foot before the other. This is what we are trying to teach you, and it's not something this vision that can be achievable in 10 years or 20 years, but learn how to put one foot before the other and bring your first product to market. You're not going to bring 700 products to market. This process of learning how to, going and turn yourself from a concept into a business, these are the things that are essential for a startup to learn. And that's what we really emphasize on, is how do you go from 0 to 1 million. You can go to 100 million, you can go to 1 billion, because however, you will not go to 100 million, you will not go to 1 billion unless you go to $1 million in revenue first. So it's like a given, but you just saw how people are thinking about what they're going to do after they're successful with, making a lot of revenue. But to become successful is a question that you have to answer at a very granular level, and you have to learn how to put one for the other. This is what we are really trying to teach you. We published, or have been publishing, and will continue to publish the book series, which then synthesizes our case and from the program and turns them into books. And of course, we've been only doing ebooks, and we've been doing it at a much faster clip. So Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 1 to 4 were published between 2008 and 2010, and then these 3 books have been published in the last few months. So, we've been publishing basically one every month in the last quarter, and again on Monday you're going to have a new book. So what we're doing is basically taking a set of case studies and the learnings for a particular topic and combining them into books. So all these books are available at this point on Amazon Kindle, and please feel free to check them out, because that's something where you get synthesized learning as well. And that's on our website. This is what the site looks like. There are lots of videos on the site as well, and you will be able to investigate the program, evaluate the program by looking at a lot of those videos. They give you a lot of cues that you will be coming to your mind. Tables are free. They happen every week. We have done 200 of them, so you can imagine how diligent we've been in doing the program for a long time. In fact, the program, the 1 million by 1 million premium program, actually launched at the end of 2010. So it's only 3 years that we've been in the market, but these free roundtables have been around longer, which is why we've done 200 roundtables already. And in a way, it is these roundtables and working with you closely and learning and what issues that early stage entrepreneurs are facing, that's what led us to the formal 1M1M premium program. So lots of information on the public roundtables, the free roundtables as well. You can register and book your slot to pitch or attend on the website. We have the $10 annual membership fee premium program, which teaches extensive methodology of how to put one foot before the other. And then we delivered that methodology through a curriculum. I'll talk more about the curriculum in a moment. We do business development work on your behalf. We help you with introductions to customers, channel partners, investors, media, analysts, and so forth. Strategy consulting, which is a similar as what you're experiencing here, but in the private roundtables, it's members only. And because you're working with the curriculum in tandem with those roundtables, you get the benefit of a lot deeper conversations, because the basics you're getting on through the curriculum. And as far as the consulting is concerned, you're getting much more sophisticated consulting in the WebEx sessions. We also work with media relations and getting you exposure in the media. I'll talk about all that in a minute. The media is a link you'll find on the homepage. It's an subset of introductions to entrepreneurs who have $1 million in annual revenue. Folks, those of you who have now succeeded in dialing in, you'll have to hold on and let me finish this segment, and I'll come back to you and do your slides. You will also find an ROI analysis of 1M1M in the 1M1M value equation link. And what we've done there is, really quantified each body of service that we provide, from consulting, curriculum, our media, all of that stuff, and what that adds up to is a $375,000 worth of services in cash plus 5 to 10% equity. That is what the market is what it's going to cost you in the market if you go out to get the kind of services that 1M provides for $1,000 annual membership fee. So it's an immensely high value program, affordable at a very inexpensive price point. And the reason we are doing it is the mission of the program is to democratize entrepreneurship incubation. That's our mission. We want, millions of people to be able to become successful entrepreneurs, and that's why we've priced it at as low as we've priced it. Tons of orientation material on how to use the program, and if you use the program the way it's meant to be used, you will be able to success. On the line, please put you on mute, otherwise you're going to stream echo into the call. Please don't do that. Self-assessment is also available for free on the website. Please take your eyes through this self-assessment questionnaire. It's a 9-point questionnaire. Whether for investors or not, you need to answer these questions for your own sake. So calibrate your business based on the self-assessment. The curriculum modules attached to the self-assessment are accessible only for premium members. So everything by 1M is at 1Mby1M.com. On the website, what to expect from the premium program, video FAQs, and so on and so forth. The curriculum is delivered in video lectures and case studies. We've been developing case studies since 2006. Hundreds of entrepreneurs have come to our platform and told their story, shared their case studies of how they put one foot before the other. So you can learn from the pros. And that's what's unique about this program, is that you really get in-depth coaching and case study-based learning opportunity from sophisticated people. The curriculum into a core and into elective. The core has 7 different topics we cover: boosting, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, acquisition, and team building. And the electives industry segments where we see a lot of activity: Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, mobile social apps, healthcare IT, online education/educational technology, gaming. These are where we see most of the action these days. Capital efficient bootstrap startups. We do a lot of work in the media. So if you go to the press page, under coverage of 1M1M premium members, you'll see how much coverage we generate for our companies, portfolio companies. We also give you access to our social media channel, which is huge. Our community reaches over 100,000 people, and we let you access our social media channels and spread your message, get your product launch messages or any message that you want to get out. If you're a premium member, you can use our social media channels, not just Twitter, actually. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, social media channels are available to you. Our blog is available to you to message out. That's pretty much all about the program. Is Aknath on the call, Rao? Are you to do your presentation? Then I will roll the slides back and start your presentation. All right, great. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Eknath Mishra. I'm calling from Dubai, UAE. Our business is basically international. We have a site called as perkmart.com. Our business was registered back in India in Jamshedpur. Headquarters in Dubai. So let's start off with the business core thing. We have 3 trademarks on our name. One is Petkali International, Perkmart, and the logo that you can see as well on the slides as well. So the customer we are targeting is low and middle income population of all the economies of the world. Initially, our product launches is going to be in India. Product and service manufacturers, as well as those brands that seek advertisement and their advertisements on the places where customers require and demand for the products, and also for pursuing entrepreneurs of developing nation.
What are you sell to people?
Yeah, basically we are channeling across a retail segment. We're putting all manufacturers and suppliers from the world on the site, and with the products that I have put on the website, we'll be moving these products into the rural and local regions of India through our product. Our product is basically a store that we will be launching in India as a customer base in the rural segments of India. This store will have all the products from the website that will be put on the store, which will be fast-moving goods. This will be helping those rural population to get products from the shelf as well as online store, which is my perkmart.com. Now, so basically, we are moving products from the world to the requirements in India. That's our concern. In this case, what we are going to do is, with the website, the customer can go to the store that I have been launched in India. He can order his product directly from the store. With this, have
Let me synthesize. I heard in a way that other people can understand, and when you listen to this recording, try to learn how I am pitching versus how you are pitching. I'm going to pitch your pitch back to you. Okay? So what is a network of retail stores in rural India and other emerging markets, in the rural population of emerging markets, and answering the needs of the rural customer base.
Right.
This is a network of retail stores in rural geographies that you're trying to up to global manufacturers. You work with global manufacturers who want to distribute their products to rural consumers through retail channels.
Correct.
Something to learn about how to pitch this business, number 1. Number 2 is this, you as a concept, it's a very general concept. Now, put this out and figure out what kind of products are we talking about. Have you done that?
On the store, I will have my FMCG products. On the website, I will have all those products registered, which might be from machinery, end user, which might require vehicles, shops. It can be any product, which we move and as required by the rural segment. If it's
a business strategy, it's not a reasonable business strategy because the logistics and the supply chain of moving large goods like vehicles is chain very different, warehousing very different, real strategy versus pushing things through, pushing stuff like jams or foods and stuff like that, right? So you have to kind of decide on where you want to position your business.
Our positioning of the business is into the retail, which is of FMCG. Go with these big manufacturers who would ultimately like and push.
You're making the same mistake that I was talking about earlier, right? Figure out what you're going to do when you're going to be successful. More interested in figuring out how you're going to go from $0 to $1 million, how you put one foot before the other, and
the store that we are going to launch, which is going to have its own board, which will have advertisements from India initially, and as well as advertisements from global brands all over the world. So these advertisements, which fetch a certain amount of revenue, will help us move from 0 to 1 million. That's what we were talking about.
Not any of that, because nobody is going to advertise until you actually have a large network. Advertisers do not buy advertisements unless you have a very large network. So building a large network is a very expensive process.
Part of building a large network.
That is.
I see.
That you just presented is not a viable business strategy. So let me clarify one other thing here. You are using these little retail stores in all rural India. These are stores where you're putting merchandise. What you have there is a tent through which you walk people through what kinds of products you have, take orders, and then source orders basically deliver orders at that store. You're not storing the shelves, right? Okay. In that case, what you need to do is figure out merchandising strategy, and you need to understand the rural consumer in a lot of detail. If kinds of things are not available in the local kirana stores that may be interested in buying through you.
All right.
Differentiation. If the local kirana store delivers what they're not going to come and learn this, foreign system, this familiar interface of ordering through a computer and all this stuff. The only place make that leap is if you're bringing them something that they cannot access from their local offerings. So you figure out what that opportunity, what that gap is. Your merchandising strategy.
Here's something, the stores that we are going to build up, we are going to have our own operators working stores. We have data band, a broadband package, wherein we'll be providing a computer system which have internet running on it. And who is working in my store will be guided, or he'll be trained from this parent company, Pepkali and Perkmart, of how to operate the website and how to cater to the demands and needs of the customers, the rural people. So
you have to come up with a product portfolio that is going to be of interest to the rural customers.
Right.
You need to identify what kinds of products are going to move through this channel. There's no point trying to move shampoo through this channel because Sunliver is going to do that and Procter & Gamble is going to do that, and you don't want to compete with them.
So basically, differentiation of products, we'll have to segment the products that we want to move off the shelf from these stores.
That's right. Not necessarily off the shelf. You need to understand what are not available, not easily available for these rural consumers, but that they are interested in buying. And then
Okay.
you can take orders through the net, your stores, and by dialoguing with them, by showing them pictures and so forth, and then delivering them, and they will pick it up from your store. That's or if you want to deliver it to their homes, whatever be the strategy, but you need to understand what is the product portfolio that is going to give you an opportunity to build this channel. Otherwise, there is no business here.
All right, I get your point.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what you need to do right now. I think you have a good understanding of what you're looking for.
All right. I this in a proper way. I guess we should definitely look back and see what the needs of the rural customers. And as of now, we just built across some channels, but guiding us in the right way to go and target the pain points of the customers or the needs.
So this is true universally for every one of you who's trying to build a product or test a concept. This is the guiding principle. You have to identify a pain point that you can solve. Otherwise, no business really. Unless you're doing entertainment business, that's different. Entertainment business doesn't require a pain point. Entertainment is entertainment. But if any kind of business that underpinning of which is a value proposition, then you need to solve a pain. Anything that can be solved in ways is something that you can build a business around.
I understand.
Okay.
And like part of
action of this call that you need to execute on.
Okay. Yeah.
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 So, what about the guy from Vietnam? Is he able to join in? Is he able to dial in? No. Okay. In this case, we're going to move to Q&A. Who dial into the call and have, you can run by your concept, even have slides. You can do a little concept discussion here with me. Now at this point, it's open Q&A, so anyone can dial in. The instructions for calling in are on your screen. Just like the chat that you are calling in. You can ask questions in public chat, folks. Point. While you're thinking through that, I'm going to give you a few kind of things we talked about in these two studies that you have experienced today. The whole philosophy of our process is case study based learning. So you hear other people's discussions, you went through case studies that we have offered you in the video lectures and the case studies that case based learning is what you should expect out of this 1M1M program. And Michael Kleeman is calling in. Michael, just identify yourself as soon as you're dialed in. All of things that I want to underscore that we discussed today. One is the notion of pain points, right? You do need to understand what pain you're solving to come up with a compelling positioning. And please do not assume that you can get concept financing. Financing is just not happening in the market anymore. There was a time in history when concept financing used to happen. That was in the dot-com bubble of the 1990s. Just 1998, 1999 concept financing in the market. There was a lot of concept financing. It just doesn't happen anymore. Please make note of those two mistakes we see entrepreneurs making all the time. Dialed in. Janaki, are you dialed in? Or Michael, are you dialed in? All right, Michael, go ahead.
Project with Oracle for the 1Mby1M through the Oracle program. Is this an appropriate forum to speak?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm on a project where I have a product that does online billing, payment collections, and analytics from an on-premise solution to a cloud solution. The idea is to offer it as a service and to build the market share rather than selling applications for on-premise. opening, there were certain subcategories, electives that you talked about, cloud computing.
Yeah.
Are there things that you might comment about moving from a on-premise style deployment to cloud that you've seen in the past that's helpful in my building that business?
Go to the blog, the 1M1M blog. There's a series called Thought Leaders in Cloud Computing. It has extensive coverage of cloud computing issues. It's one place where you will find a lot of information. What I would like to see, and you looked at the application form for the 1M1M concept. So let me just set some context for people who are listening to this conversation. Folks, Michael is part of Oracle, and 1M1M is running a corporate incubation program at Oracle, and this third round of this program launched this week on Tuesday. And basically, Oracle invited to apply to become part of the 1M1M incubation program funded by Oracle. So Michael is looking at that, is basically experiencing 1M1M through the Oracle 1M1M challenge. That's the context of his question. So, Michael, if you go look at the application form that you are supposed to fill out.
Yeah. Around value prop and product, etc., market share, competitors, like a formal business plan, any business plan.
Right. So you is something that you have to take, whatever concept you're working on, you need to take that concept through that, that questionnaire basically. And as I said at the launch kickoff call, we don't expect that you will have all those answers right away. Those are the kinds of questions we help you answer inside of the curriculum, inside the 1M1M Premium program, which you are applying to win a scholarship into.
Right.
So I understand that you don't know how to do all of that stuff quite yet, but try to start thinking with that framework in mind.
Would it be appropriate to come back to this forum in a couple of weeks and a pitch?
Yes.
And you tear it apart to our submission?
I would be happy to do that. Absolutely.
Okay, because I think the harsher your criticism, the better our final product.
Exactly. You actually nailed it on the head. Perfect.
Okay. All right, well, I'll yield to anyone else who has some questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Pendula. You are up next, and I believe you're on the call already.
Yeah, I'm here. Actually, last time when I spoke to you, we considered Happy Weddings, my startup, needs PR and marketing plan to introduce the services in the U.S. community. Indian community in U.S. and Canada. So, how do we take it? See, we are a private company, and I have other stakeholders. So, what I was wondering is if you can give us a tentative plan action, so that I can share with my other stakeholders, and freeze a travel plan, and then probably payment.
The kind of things you're asking for me to help you build a go-to-market strategy. We'll be happy to help you do that, but you need to join the 1M1M program, the premium program, for me to be able to really contribute to that. It's just impossible.
Of course, yeah. Entire idea is to join the program normally, and then to take your suggestion on the possibility of traveling me to US sometime around in the month of February, first week or second week, if that helps me. So I really I'm just banking on your suggestion.
That you traveling to the US doesn't do anything.
Okay.
You build your plan based on our methodology, and if you know the methodology, we'll be happy to help you. And we do not send you traveling around. That is how we want you to spend your money.
And that, yeah, travel is not part of the program.
We are respectful of people's limited resources. Cash is extremely precious, and we don't want you to spend that cash without very clear directions on where the payoff is going to come from. So just generic trip to the US is not going to get you anything. If I were you, I would cancel the trip.
Okay. And that idea is to meet the people out there and introduce the product service. But if you feel we can start off with the program and then probably later on I can come in, that's okay, fine. I mean, my entire question is not I'm not keen on traveling, but the question, if I can do it from here, well, I'll right away start with it. And I just want to take your advice on if travel helps.
Rahul, you have done quite a lot of work using the virtual program. No travel necessary.
I can start off with the program.
Absolutely. Companies working from all over the world. This is the only global virtual incubation program in the world.
Okay. We already we started the revenues, but very small, though consistent, very small. So I'm looking to target people, communities in there, because the platform is more appealing to people over there. The increase
what you should do is very helpful. This conversation is not very helpful because I think you have specific questions about how your situation is going to be addressed by 1M1M program. I believe you've already been introduced to Irina Patterson. So Irina, please, Irina is in the room. Irina Patterson, folks, is your contact to ask questions about how 1M1M applies to your situation. It is your phone number, Skype ID, as well as email on the public chat. I'd like to introduce all of you to Irina Patterson. She is great. She's been with 1M right from the beginning. She understands the program inside out, and she will be able to help you figure out how your situation maps to 1M1M, and you can get questions answered. Her phone number is 786-301-2456. Her is Irina_Patterson. Her email is irina@1mby1m.com. Folks, please feel free to call Irina and talk to her. You will be at how helpful she is. So divert to Irina and work, please.
Okay.
Calling or trying to call in, wanting to call in. Or ask questions in public chat, that's fine too. While doing that, let me mention a couple of more things. If you are an organizer of some kind, you run a website that's focused on entrepreneurship development or an entrepreneurship development organization, and you want to partner with 1M1M, we do have a very nice affiliate program, and you're very welcome to be part of that. Upcoming roundtables pretty much every Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific time. There are tons of options. Reserve your slot and come and pitch. And yes, Oracle people who are planning to apply, this is a smart observation on Michael's part, is that if you work with us in the free sessions before you apply, your application is going to be a stronger application, no question about it. Those of you who are in India or an emerging market and you're still looking for an idea to work on, you may want to look at the Vision India 2020 book. It is a book that has $45 billion business ideas, and it's kind of an ideation book. It's written as business fiction. It's like stories. And it's as if we are sitting in 2020 reflecting back on how these companies have been built. So it's got lots of detailed strategic nuances to these discussions, to the ideas, and it's good to stimulate and stir new ideas in your head. We have the 1M1M Incubator in a Box program, which enables any company, any investor, any government, university, college, school, who wants to launch an incubator, to work part with us and launch their own incubator. This is what Oracle is doing, by the way. The Oracle 1M1M partnership is part in a box, is 1M1M's Incubator in a Box program. And many other companies are doing this as well. And you can go, if you're an incubator or an accelerator in any part of the world and you are looking for a deep connection into Silicon Valley, you can use the 1M1M Incubator in a Box, layer it on top of your program, as a supplemental service, and you can enhance the power and the scope of your incubation program. So bootstrapping using services is launching on Monday. You will find the book on Amazon Kindle, and you will download the book based on a free download promotion for 5 days, Monday through Friday next week. Some of the recent books, Seed Capital, Indian entrepreneurs who are trying to navigate the seed capital gap in India, which is a difficult situation, by the way. You will find guidance in this book. Women looking for inspiration and education from role models will find inspiration in the Feminine Feminism book. And Fortune in the Middle of the Pyramid, The Other 99% Entrepreneurs, is a really great book that will encourage all of you who are facing rejections from investors. Entrepreneur in the world, even most successful ones like Mark Benioff, have faced rejections from investors. There is no problem with investors rejecting you. That does not mean anything. That does not mean that you're not going to be a successful entrepreneur. So this is what topic, The Other 99% Entrepreneurs. So back to calls. If anybody wants to call in, here are call-in instructions again. Comments, introductions. Please feel free to introduce yourselves. We love to learn who you are, what project you're working on. So please use the public chat to introduce yourselves. And where dialing from, how did you find out about us? That's also always of interest to us. So a networking session. So you can meet tons of people from different parts of the world. Already have met some of them. Are there PDF versions of the books for download? The PDF versions are available actually in the private lounge. So in the premium lounge, you will be able to download any of these books for free. That section is ready. I will link it up to the premium lounge page shortly. Any questions, comments? Way is a premium member, so she will be able to download the PDF version. Anybody? Questions? No? And we wrap up the session and get going. We all are extremely busy entrepreneurs, and 1M1M, by the way, is a startup just like yours. Mishra, you have a question. Please go ahead. Please also, where are you calling from? Where are you? Where are you based? Debashish is in Bangalore, okay?
Myself and my team are based in Burlington, Massachusetts.
Oh,
it's
great.
about 12 miles west of Boston.
Yes, I lived in Massachusetts for 7 years, so I'm very familiar.
All right.
I did all schooling in Massachusetts. And that's how you got to know about this, okay? Work in Bangalore, yeah? Can I look for you to start? Well, the Entrepreneur Journeys book series is a very good series to start with. Idea about how to make a pitch. Well, start with the Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 1. Also, the other thing you should do is every week come to these free roundtables. If you do that for the next, 10 weeks, or how many weeks do we have before the study? I think it's about 6 or 7 weeks. 4 weeks, I think, to the application, 4 or 5 weeks. For the next 5 weeks, if you just attend these sessions, you will learn a lot. February 20th, that's right. You're right. The applications are due on February 20th. So you have just over a month. YouTube channel and listen to the recordings. We have every single roundtable in the YouTube channel. That's a very good resource for how to pitch. Pitches are really good. Some pitches are not so good, so you'll be able to figure that out. What's a pitch? Any questions? Introduction. It's a very safe place, so don't feel like you have to be perfect. This is a working session, we do these sessions so that you can feel safe to come and work here. And what we're doing together is working on developing your business. Please introduce yourself and go ahead and ask your question. In India and Canada currently, and in India. Launched in August and able to grab some good traction. 100K ranking in Alexa, 12K likes on Facebook, 6K plus on Twitter, Pinterest. Most of our traffic comes from social media, not looking for immediate funding, but would like to shape the model, make the model sustainable, and then go for funding. Bootstrapped by our company. I would like to sign up with the premium model. Will I get some personal guidance, right? Yeah, absolutely. The guidance you're going to get in the premium program is from me. So yes, absolutely. You take and help move right. Harsha will help you. In this public forum, do you see any issues with IP? Not really, Michael. Don't worry too much about IP, The real issue is I'm a believer in trying to be so secretive that you don't make any progress. And confidentiality and all this stuff is highlighted, especially in software. Software is not a place where you have a amount of patenting and IP protection that goes on. It's much more of an execution game. So free to just use the public sessions to make tests so that, as you said, you are going to be in a better place when your actual application comes due. Any questions? No? Question then? As I said, you can work with Irina and ask questions. We have a support@1Mby1M.com email ID to which you can send in your questions. Come to sessions every week and go and use the program as much as you need to. The more you use the program, the more progress you're going to make. Sonia, have a question or comment? Sonia Borak, Partouche. Where are you, Sonia? Where are you dialing from? Please go. Or okay. Okay. Idea but no team. All right. Team or Oracle would help. So here's what you should do. You should start developing the idea, following the 1M methodology by attending these roundtables and following the self-assessment and so forth, and you're developing the application. And in parallel, Oracle Social Network is a place where there is a discussion thread going on this 1M1M challenge, and other people who are also participating in the challenge and applying for the program are hanging out over there. So you could conceivably give suggestion of the idea that you're working with and recruit your team from forum through that forum. That, contact Susan Hoffman. She will help you as well. Looks like we're at the end of the session for today. What you want to talk about, what you want to discuss, what you want to work on next week, and come back and continue the session next week. And be sure to register on the website, especially if you want to send in your slides and book a slot for a full pitch discussion. Make sure you do that through the website. And I look forward to working with you next week. Bye.